If you want to start creating unlimited AI images without spending a fortune, this is the video for you. I've discovered this hack while using an app called Gamma.app, which originally is meant to create AI presentation. However, there's a way to generate unlimited AI images using the best and latest models for free. So if you want to forget about burning through credits, about hitting daily limits, and just want to focus on generating the best possible images, this app can become your personal AI image generation studio. For the last few weeks, I've spent a lot of time experimenting with this image generation method, and it works. I'll show you real examples. I'll show you examples I'll come up with during this video, so you can learn the best ways to use this app for your specific use cases. Let's get right into it. So here I am in my Gamma.app dashboard, and what I'm going to do is open up a presentation that I created. It can be anything that you can start from scratch, but just for the sake of this video and for the sake of keeping things short, I'm just going to open up this right here. So it's just a slide. If you double click on an image, you get this side menu. So you can choose the source for your images, which can be an image upload, a web search, AI images, Unsplash images, GIF from Jiffy, and there's so many more, which is awesome. What we're going to focus on is this AI images tab. So as you can see, you have the prompt here, you have the style, you have the aspect ratio, and you have the model. Let's start with the model first of all. There's a bunch of the latest models as well, which is great news for anyone generating AI images. So there's Playground 2.5 and 3, there's Flux, Fast Pro and Ultra, Imagen 3 Fast and 3, Ideogram, DALL-E, and Leonardo Phoenix. And I also love that there's a small description about what each model is best for. So if we go with, I don't know, Flux, for example, Flux Ultra is the highest resolution images with fine details. So let's try that first. And let's just try content writer here. We can choose the style. And even here, there's a bunch of stuff you can choose from as well. You can choose the theme. You can also go with something custom. So let's go with custom. Let's leave that here for now. So here I have modern and bold with high-tech influences using neon colors like pink and purple against a dark backdrop to create a vibrant and fun aesthetic. What I've noticed is that once you hit submit or generate here, this tends to revert to the previous input that you had. It doesn't seem to affect the output, the image generated, but for a few seconds while this is generating, it does tend to revert back to the previous input. And what I like is that each time it generates 3 images as well, which you can preview by clicking right here. If you want to get the full version, you can either zoom in, which kind of opens up this modular type of window, or you can hit download image, which gives you the full version of the image. So this is just based on the prompt content writer. So there's 1, there's 2, which is a very good image, I guess. And there is number 3. But what if we wanted to have a better prompt? So let's just enhance prompt. So now I have an illustrated portrait of a professional content writer at work. So now I'm expecting something that is more an illustration rather than a photographic image. However, there is the custom instructions right here, which we'll see how that affects the whole thing. So that created this, okay? And again, look at these 3 images. So that's the first one. Interesting that there's some sort of, machinery writer, even though it's a content writer. There's this, which is pretty good, I guess. The fingers look good as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, maybe this part right here might be a bit off, but you will have to zoom in to get to that. But what if we change the style? And let's go with anime, for example, and hit generate. So now we have the same prompt, an illustrated portrait of a professional content writer at work. And while this is generating, I just wanted to mention or compare this to something like ReCraft 3, which I had a video about a few weeks ago. So this ReCraft 3 is also available on Replicate. And when it comes to the pricing, this costs 4 cents per image or 25 images per dollar. So if you want to generate images on this, it's obviously going to cost you more than generating images here as part of the Gamma.app membership. Then again, obviously Gamma is not, there's a free tier to it, which allows you to get started, but there's also the Plus and the Pro, which if you go annually, it's at $180 per year if it's for the Pro, or 96 per month, or sorry, 96 euro for the Plus membership. Alternatively, it's €8 per month for the Plus, or €15 per month for the Pro. So there is that thing as well to consider. There are some limitations here, basic AI image generation, and you can generate up to 10 cards. Whereas here with the Pro, you can generate up to 30, unlimited AI creation, and so on and so forth. So some things to consider as well. But if you're using this to create AI presentations, I think it's a great thing to consider. So here we have the anime style with the same prompt as before. If we open up the full version, we also see the text, writing, content writer. So that has nailed it. And yeah, I like the way the output that is generating. What if we use something like Ideogram and stay with the same prompt and the same style? And what I like about this is that there are so many possible combinations of images that you can try, that essentially you just test it out until you find the right images for your specific use case. So we're now going with Ideogram, and what I generally like to use for this model would be something that is more text-based. So this created this image, which is good, but I would rather go with Flux for something like this. However, if I'm going to go a coffee shop with the text free coffee on the outside, let's hit generate. Again, it's Ideogram 2.0. And let's see what we get now. Also, it's good to point out that all the images you have generated will be listed right here. So you can go back to any of those at any point in time and see what you have generated. So anime style, free coffee on the outside, and this is what was generated. So free coffee, I think that is quite good. There's this here, which is also free coffee, written correctly. And there's this as well right here. So pretty good. Let's go back to realistic and let's go to photography and use the same prompt with Ideogram. So now I'm looking for a coffee shop with the text free coffee on the outside. It's realistic in terms of style. And I'm using Ideogram because I generally find that it gives better text output. Give it a few seconds. And again, as I'm testing this, if I were to create this on something like replicate at 4 cents an image, this would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I've done this morning as well. So here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 by 3. So that's 33 times 4. So yeah, that's a bit more than $1.20, which is okay. But if you're generating this on a consistent basis, it would add up. So free coffee on the outside makes sense. The people are kind of lining up for coffee. I like that there's this blur to it as well, as people are moving or supposedly moving away from the stand. I mean, faces aren't the best. So if we look at this AI lady here, I mean, it's not too bad. And yeah, it is kind of blurred considering the image though. So that's one. There's this second one here, which again isn't too bad. Maybe this lady seems to have a part of her face missing. But again, you have to really zoom in to look at this. And if I look at this third one, I mean, again, yeah, remember, it will only get better, but there are some things that, yeah, might need to be fixed if you're going to use this in specific use cases. Like, yeah, I don't know why there's a face next to the cups here. But again, I'm super zooming in. There's a lot of people included. If you have a situation where there are no people, I don't know, you can do, there are no people on the outside. It's sunset. There are no people. Let's try that. And then I'll also do a generation with Flux, which also is getting really good at text generation. It's just that Ideogram tends to, from my tests, give better output. You can also shift the aspect ratio here. So in this case, I've always done the landscape orientation. But you can also shift to square or even portrait. So this is the first image, free coffee. Great, there are no people. I mean, that could really be a realistic image. So that's the first one. The second, again, there's a blur, which I don't really like in this case, but the text is great, free coffee. And for this one, yeah, I mean, again, there seems to be some type of blur happening right here, but it's quite a good image. Like, chairs look good, pretty good. So let's go back to Flux Ultra, and then I'll also try a few other models as well, which I haven't really played around with because I tend to stick to either Flux or Ideogram. As you can see, it's also very fast, especially with these latest models. So for coffee, there is the sunset element. I really like this. There's also a menu here. That's one. Yeah, there are people for some reason on the roof here. Yeah, not sure what's happening there. So for coffee. Yeah, there is definitely some people in this image. And then there's this third one. So stop. There's another coffee place here. Free coffee 2 times. There's a random letter right here. I don't know what the hell that is. Anyway, yeah. Maybe this would need a quick touch up, but if you look at it from the get-go, like the first impression is quite good. If I look at some other models, so let's go with this. Playground 3 best for detailed prompts capable of text and people. Okay, interesting. Let's enhance the prompt. So now I have a cozy standalone coffee shop with a text-free coffee prominently displayed on the exterior set against the backdrop of a picturesque setting. There are people on the inside waiting to be served. So let's go a bit different this time. With the text, free coffee prominently displayed. So let's remove on the exterior and hit generate. And let's see if this model actually lives up to the description, which said that it is great for text and people. I don't think it does. Yeah, I think it failed on both the people and the text. Let's look at this one. Nope. And that. Yeah, just a bunch of faceless people drinking whatever this is. So not really impressed with that playground tree. And obviously you can change the style here. Let's look at a couple other models. So there's Imagen tree, which is supposedly Google's most advanced model with for text and people again. So let's keep the same prompt, hit generate, and let's see if this is better than the playground model I used in the last generation. Okay, text seems to be good in terms of free coffee. I don't know why you tried coffee here again, but that's another story, I guess. Again, free coffee up top, free coffee there. Faces kind of suck in the sense that, yeah, it's kind of a creepy looking barista. And I mask the person, I don't know, getting his coffee fix. And if you look at this, yeah, faces are still off. I don't know what's happening here. It just get the text right though. Free coffee. So if it was like no people, just this, then maybe yeah, let's remove this, hit generate. If there were no people and just the free coffee and the coffee shop, that could have been a very good image. So we got this. Free coffee. I mean, I like the enthusiasm, but free, and free coffee. So it's not really sunset. No. Yeah, it's not a picturesque sunset. It's more like a night. There are people, which I guess it can. I didn't say don't put people. I just didn't say anything. So, I mean, I guess this could be an image. The faces are kind of hidden behind the frames here. So this could technically work. It's just that there's some weird text happening there. Coffee, free coffee. So it's not too bad. But I would still rather go with Flux or Ideogram for these types of images. One thing I haven't tried is this Leonardo Phoenix. So this is good for creative styles and text. Make it creative. I'm actually looking in the wrong field. So hit enhance. Now we have a cozy standalone coffee shop with a text-free coffee permanently displayed, set against the backdrop of a breathtaking cinematic sunset landscape. So I guess this can be kind of creative. So let's see if that lives up to the expectations. It is taking its sweet time compared to other models. So just another thing to consider. Okay. Free coffee. I like the inside here. Just the outside. I know. Sure, I think I like it. My first thoughts were that the outside looked a bit too unrealistic. But I guess that could be a good image. Okay, so that's the first one. Free coffee. We have different fonts here. So whoever designed this coffee shop needs to get fired. Silly dot. Okay, not bad. I like that the windows are dirty. Makes it very realistic. I think I like this the most. So free coffee. Some cars parked outside. Sunset. Yeah, I really like this. So yeah, Leonardo Phoenix. Anyway, the whole point is that there is a bunch of AI generators that you can play around with. Let's try DALL-E as the last option here, which, if it's similar to anything generated on ChatGPT, might not be the best image generator, but I guess it's worth a shot as well. So in this case, again, it's taking quite a bit of time. And yeah, there's this whole style that DALL-E always seems to generate. Plus, it's, I don't know, I mean, that would be an amazing view, but it's also kind of dangerous. It's like drink some coffee and then let's go for a swim right there. Free coffee. So the text is also always, in the most cases, it's pretty good. Let's look at this one here. Yeah, there's that kind of, I don't know, GTA vibe to the whole image, which can definitely work in some situations. It's just not very realistic. And there is this free coffee is dried, but then whatever is down here is not. Yeah. So I like that it went ahead and made it very picturesque. Like I would definitely have a coffee here and get the top work done. I left the backdrop to that, but maybe not the best in terms of the realism. So here we go to, let's go with photography here. I think hopefully that would make it slightly better. Does take a bit of time to generate. And in the meantime, what I want to show you before I close this video is Gamma.app. So if you're on the fence about getting this software. This is in the first place, main purpose of it. So you can go to create and you can create with AI. So you can paste in your own text, you can generate from a one-line prompt in a few seconds, or you can import a file or a URL. So let's hit generate. I'm going to say, okay, create me a presentation about image or large length. You can choose the number of cards, choose the aspect ratio, choose the language, and hit generate. You can also, as you saw, generate web pages and or something else. Web pages and documents. So you can also generate eBooks, documents, and PDFs. I've never actually tried the document here. Let's try this. Information on large language models. Let's generate outline. Also going to generate a new presentation as well. From here, paste that in, generate outline. So this is the outline. Then I can hit continue. I can choose the amount of text per card, which is the same as slides, whether it's brief, medium, or detailed. Image source, which is the same stuff we saw before. Image style, and I can choose the model right here. So I can also go with just Flux Ultra, for example, and hit OK. This is the presentation. Let's go with medium. Since this is a presentation, go with Flux Ultra as well, and hit generate. Choose the theme, hit generate. What you need to do is you need to be on that same screen when the generation starts. So here I need to stay on the screen before that actually starts. Once it starts generating, I can then move on to something else. But as you can see, it didn't start until I got to that. Actually, I think you need to be on that screen or else it will stop. So limitations and challenges. Let's give that a second. Oh yeah, you need to be on the screen. Don't close the tab while generation is in progress. I've never had two running at the same time, so this is good to know as well. So this is building all the stuff for this presentation. So this finished generating. Let's go back to the document as well. So here there's a lot of text as per the option I chose. What is great is that you can add stuff as well to your output. So charts and diagrams, embed apps and web pages, videos and media, images, basic blocks, smart layout. So there's a lot you can do with your presentations and books or web pages as well. So this is really going into it and generating. We're on page 13 here. Safety and toxicity concerns. So we'll look at this in the meantime. And then I'll go back to that generation. So this is, you can then hit present and then go full screen and essentially you have a presentation that's ready to go. What are large language models? The rise of transformers, capabilities of large language models, limitation and challenges, applications, technical considerations. So considering I just went from a keyword to a full-blown presentation, that is quite impressive. And this might be even more impressive than the presentation. As I said, I've never generated a book on this, but this looks to be quite good. What I'd like to see is a bit more images on some of the pages. So that could be something that you add in after as well. You could also create different ebooks and then combine them together. So the maximum number of pages or slides you can generate are 30. Obviously, you can create multiple ones and then combine them manually. So here we're on slide 24. And in the meantime, I'm just going to look at there was an issue in this case with generating the realistic free coffee images. And going back to this, we're on slide number 26. I like the side-by-side stuff. Which should be concluding soon, 28. And this generated the supposedly more realistic images. So this is one. Again, not the most realistic. Free coffee. So sometimes I'm not sure if this actually follows through or not, because as I said, this kind of reverts to what you chose in the input of the generation beforehand. But yeah, this should give you a good idea of what that is all about. If I go back to this, it's now generating the 30, it's actually created 31 slides. So now, can I download this as a PDF? I can present, undo version history, view source prompt. So I can see what generated all this. I can change the logo, colors and fonts, page setup. I can export. So I can export as a PDF, PowerPoint, or even PNGs. So if I export as a PDF, I should have a 31 page PDF that was just generated from one single prompt, or just one simple sentence, even more accurately. So I'll give this a few seconds, and there we go. So I have this PDF, which is very detailed. Obviously, you go through, see if it makes sense, can make any changes in Gamma itself, but there is a lot you can do with this tool. So if you're into creating this type of stuff, I think this is definitely worth considering. The only thing is that Gamma doesn't have an API at the moment, so if you want to automate that stuff at this stage, it's just not possible. So yeah, that's Gamma.app. Definitely worth giving it a look if you're into creating presentations and want to take advantage of the AI image generations. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you found this video useful. Check out the link in the description if you want to get more AI-based stuff and learn more about this topic. And in the meantime, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, because it will really help this channel grow and get bigger over time. I'll speak to you soon.